Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes. We've got a few more folks that are waiting to come on, so we'll give it just a few more minutes. I will mention we are going to use the chat feature for questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to enter that into the chat feature. Probably won't get to all the questions, but we'll try to get to as many of those as we can. And if you would go ahead, if you don't mind, just so I know everybody knows how to use the chat feature, if you wouldn't mind just putting your first and last name and a message there and what grade or grades you're looking at. So if you go ahead and put in your first and last name and what grade or grades you are looking at here at Pulaski Academy, that'd be great. Give us a little bit of a survey of we're looking at. Thank you, Rochelle. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. Name and grades. Awesome. All right, we'll give it a few more minutes here, and then we'll get started. Thank you, everybody. That's great. We've got a good group here that has registered, so we're gonna give it just a few more seconds, and then I'll introduce everybody, and we're gonna take a tour of the early childhood school, our Cubs 3s, 4s, and kindergarten classrooms. You've got just a couple. I'll give you a few more minutes if you want to get a coffee or a water before we get started. All right, well, we're about 3 minutes past the hour. We'll jump in and get started. And I want to welcome everybody to our Pulaski Academy sneak peek. And we started these virtual events back during the good old COVID days, and they went really well. So we found that a lot of our families, prospective families, wanted to see the campus in this way. And we call it a sneak peek because this really is similar to the trailer to the movie. This is just going to be a snippet of what you will actually see and experience if you come and tour the campus. So throughout the sneak peek, we're going to talk a lot about coming and touring the campus, and at the end, we'll share a way that you can sign up and register to actually come on campus and tour, which we hope that you will do. So the name Sneak Peek, it's just a snippet, just a sampler of what you're gonna see when you actually come for a tour, and certainly a campus tour, you can't beat that. I mean, being able to see the kiddos and the teachers in the classrooms and the feelings and the smiles on their faces, you'll experience all that when you come for a tour. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Tiffany Knight and Greg Ledbetter. Tiffany is our head of our early childhood school. Greg Ledbetter is our head of enrollment and financial aid, and they are going to take us on a tour of the early childhood school. So Greg and Tiffany, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. It's all yours.
Well, thank you, Matt. Welcome, everybody. We're glad that you're here. Before the winter storm blows in, as I understand, we get 10 feet of snow. That'll be a lot of fun. No school, so I know. But at any rate, thank y'all for being here. Matt, thank you for the work to putting all this together. I am here with Tiffany Knight. Tiffany is our head of our early childhood school. Tiffany has been associated with the school for a long time. She started here when she was very little, actually. No, that's actually the truth. She did. She attended school here, graduated from PA, went on and got your master's in education, and then has come back in various roles. So one thing I'm just kind of boasting on you is because leadership is critically important. And so the first thing I want to point out and what we're doing in the program itself is that we have great leadership in the early childhood school. So here we are again.
We are.
It seems like we were just here yesterday, right? Yeah. But this is something that we enjoy doing, and we're glad that you're here. And as Matt said, this is kind of a sneak peek. So as we do every time, Tiffany, thank you again for you being here and all the work you're doing. There are some things that we like to start with that are some sort of the foundational aspects of your program. And if you'd like to say a few words and kick off with that, that'd be great before we move around.
Happy to. First of all, I want to say I have the best job in the world. And being around these littles every day is such a joy and brings lots of happiness. So I do find it such a pleasure to be here. And I think that's what you'll see too if you come on campus, and we hope that you're able to do that, is to watch our teachers in action, because they find such joy too in the classroom. It is a love of theirs to be around these kiddos, and that makes it great every single day. So not perfect, but great. Because of course they're kids. So my name is Tiffany Knight, and we have a 2.5-year-old through kindergarten program in the early childhood school. And just a little bit of an overview about our program. Our 2.5-year-old group has up to 12 students per class. Our 3-year-old group has 15 to 16 in those grade levels. 4-year-olds have up to about 18, between 16 and 18. And then our kindergarten has between 18 and 20. And the great thing about all of those classes is we have 2 teachers in there. We have a lead teacher and a co-teacher. The lead teacher is a licensed teacher always, and the co-teacher may not be specific to the education realm, but has a love for kiddos and may have some other emphasis that helps in the classroom. So that's just a little overview about our classes. Also, we do what's called the Reggio philosophy, and we love it. We kind of Bruinize it down here, meaning we're not full out Reggio because we also follow educational standards. So Reggio is a child-led philosophy, lots of documentation. You can see in our room here too, we have family behind us. We have pictures of families up because families are an integral part of Reggio. We love to have families volunteer on campus. We want to have the involvement. We send emails weekly to let families know what's going on in the classroom, so that at home, if you choose to discuss those things, you can do so. So that's just a little bit of an overview of the overall philosophy of our program.
And parents, here's something I want you to recognize in what Tiffany just said and what you do so well. The teachers are our main asset in these classrooms, and she does such a great job of making sure that she hires the right people, and she takes care of them too. A lot of professional development. The average teaching experience down here is right around 26 years, of which 18 of it is here at PA. So what you're going to get is good quality teaching, professional teaching that have a great background in education and have been here for a while. That says a lot about what you're doing. The other thing is I can tell you, I've been all over the United States and evaluating schools. There's very few schools that do what you do, which is blending that Reggio with the traditional standard-based approach. There's nobody in the state of Arkansas that's doing that. So that's another quality or distinction that you're going to get. So kudos to you for that. Shall we go take a walk?
Yeah, we'll take a walk. We'll head on over to our Cubs, which is our 2.5-year-old program.
All right. I'm going to mess with the camera a little bit, so y'all forgive me for being a little shaky here.
And just an FYI, it may get a little loud. That's because we have kiddos around, and that's what we want it to be. We want them to be active and playing. So let's go see.
All right, let me get this all set up. And here we go. All right.
And Greg, I'll point out here too, this is a little bit more Reggio. You'll see that at the beginning of the year, we do drawings of our kiddos. And so self-portraits are a big part. And then a second drawing mid-year, and you can see the changes.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, now we're going into the hallway over into our 2.5-year-old program. And
two. So now we're going to mix it up. Tell Miss Mike, what color are we making? Green. What? No, what makes green? What 2 colors did we just mix to make our frosting? No. What colors?
Green, we have in blue.
Now what color? I put a picture from yesterday. So now we see brownies and we're green frosting. brownies for? The day to bake, and so we're making our color brownies from the cafeteria. So we said we'd make brownies.
Oh, it's a brownie day. Oh, gosh.
A little darker.
Bye. Bye, guys.
In that 2.5-year-old classroom, they are actively engaged. You'll also see the lots of hands-on involvement as we walk through the room. So make sure that you pay attention to all of that. I will mention also about our CUPS program, the 2.5, they do not have to be toilet trained.
Oh,
I know a lot of people ask about that. And so we work on that throughout the year. But by the time they get in our 3-year-old program, they do have to be fully toilet trained, which means pull down, pull up, wipe, all the goodness.
yeah.
So just a little bit.
And that's DHS that requires
is.
that. That's right. That's not us. That's me. That's right. That's right.
Also, Greg, I'm going to mention real quickly, in the hallways, you'll see a lot more documentation like we talked about. For example, this is a Regio board. They're low to the ground so that the students are able to talk about them as they walk down the hall with intentionality that they will build language. So there's lots of intention and purpose behind all of these. Once again, you'll see on this cupboard that they're cooking. We really like to try to cook at least once a month. There's math skills, there's teamwork, there's fine motor work. A lot of research proves that cooking is a great skill for all of our kiddos to do. And it's just fun. You get to eat it.
It's great for adults too.
It is. Anyone have questions that we need to answer as we go?
We are good to go, guys. Y'all are doing great.
Okay, we'll keep on moving then. We're going to move down now into a 4-year-old room. And as we walk into this 4-year-old room, again, you'll see that teachers are in there, centers that are set up. Let's see. And the kiddos are out right now. This is Miss Warren.
Hi, Miss Warren.
Kiddos right now.
My kiddos are at PE right now.
So we have enrichment classes that the students go to daily, and it's on a 6-day rotation. We have PE, art that starts actually in our 4-year-olds program. We don't do it below that because we do so many art projects within the classroom. Music, STEAM, which we'll go see in a bit, library, and Spanish. Again, those are on a 6-day rotation. What I want you to see in this room as we walk around is the various centers that are at tables. So the lead teacher and the assistant teacher will work in small groups with students. And that's a way that we meet their individual needs. And then the other students will be roaming around the room doing organized centers, which they think they're just playing, but actually they're learning.
Right.
A good picture of our classroom.
Good picture of the classroom. Just to take a quick peek, here's kind of what the day looks like for our 4-year-olds. Okay.
It's a little bit busy every day. We like to keep them active for certain.
All right, here's just this particular 4-year-old classroom. And I just have to point out, for some reason, this guy right here stands out. I'm not real sure why, except for he is my grandson. So, anyway,
Every shameless plug.
a little shameless plug. That's right. Oh, that's right.
That we have hanging, and the only reason I mention it is it's a collaboration that was made between our high school and our ECS. The ECS painted or drew on the water bottles, and the high school cut them and created the chandelier for us in art. But we do a lot of collaboration across campus, whether it be our 2-year-olds being read to by our 2nd graders, our 4-year-olds by our 4th graders, or our senior brothers and sisters that come over once a month and meet with our kiddos in the classroom. That's one of the great benefits of having a campus with 2.5-year-olds through 12th grade all in one spot. And we find it delightful, and I think the kiddos do too.
All right, we're getting ready to go up to kindergarten, right? All right, before we leave, just tell them maybe how many 2-year-old classes we have, 3-year-old classes,
Yes,
and
we have
4-year-olds.
2 classes of 2.5-year-olds. We have 4 classes of 3-year-olds, and those are half day and full day students. And the beginning and 4-year-olds, it's a full day program, and there are 5 classes of 4-year-olds and then 5 kindergartens. And Greg, I do want to mention too, we have a lot of applications already
We
for
do.
next year. And so if you are interested, especially in our Cubs and our threes, we are full. So we begin those play dates for Cubs next week. So I would highly recommend getting your applications in if you are interested in the programs.
Yeah, and
Please see us.
we do roll over applications. So even if you apply and when you're on a wait pool, that sets you up for the next year so that you can be first in line there. So maybe another reason why you want to get that application in now.
Good.
Yeah. All right.
Head on in.
All right. Yep. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Calendar of events, a peek through the year of our 4-year-old program. And what I love most about this is you'll see the lettering for the months. It is student led. And once again, a piece of our regio. But what you'll see is as the students walk down the hall and they look over and they'll say things like, oh, I remember when we had our friendship feast. Do you remember that? Oh, look at that headband I made. And so again, it's building that language through experiences and then recapturing them when they see them in photographs.
We're trying to show you the classrooms and you ask questions, and thank you for completing that survey. We saw a lot of interest in diversity. So one thing that we're very proud of and we celebrate here is that 50% of our students are students of color, meaning that 50% of the students down here are non-Caucasian and 1% are international students. And you can kind of see that in some of our pictures. All right, Matt, we're going to walk upstairs, and I know we have a little connection problem there. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to drop off and then pick back up once we get upstairs. Would that be all right?
Sounds good. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just mention while Tiffany and Greg are heading upstairs to our STEAM lab and kindergarten, lots of great questions. We're using the chat feature for questions. Also, if you jumped on after we started, we'd love to know who you are. So if you don't mind, just introduce yourself, put your name, first and last name, and what grades you're looking at in the chat feature. That way we can get to know you. So put your first and last name, what grade you're interested in. Lots of great questions. One of them about tuition. I'll be sending out as soon as we're done this morning an email with a couple of things in there. One of them will be a cost sheet, a college profile, which I know someone has asked about, our ACT, SAT scores. And I'll also be including in there information about schedule, a curriculum, some things that Tiffany has talked about, and then how you can register for a campus visit and some other events that we have coming up. So just wanted to make sure that just that you knew that we'll be sending that email out. Any questions we have before Tiffany and Greg pop back up? Be happy to answer those. I know one of the things that was mentioned on the survey was uniforms, and of course you'll see some of that as we see more of the kiddos this morning, but our students do wear uniforms, 2.5s all the way through 8th grade. So I know that was a question. Looks like we're back upstairs in the STEAM room. STEAM is one of our enrichment classes. Of course, a lot of parents ask about the A in STEAM. Yes, that is an acronym for STEM. The A is art. So the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And Tiffany and Greg, looks like you got a good crew up there now.
All right, be ready. Tiffany gave you a warning. This is a place where loud noises is not only permitted but encouraged. So we will be tending with that. But I mean, this is a great place. Glad that we got kids in here. You can just see the kids. I guess they're getting ready, I would suspect.
Yes,
Go back to the classroom.
Cleaning up right now. This is a 4-year-old group. And as you can see, they had their mega blocks out. They told me they were building a house with those blocks. A few kiddos had on their construction hats. Then over here, we have the ball wall that they get to play with. in this space, it is a lot of innovative, creative play, and we desire it to be that way. We do use the next generation science standards beginning in kindergarten. So there are more pencil paper tasks in kindergarten, but below that, we want them to play, be engaged. It may be that they're feeling in the cold water to feel what blubber feels like. They may be creating penguins, talking shadows. Everything that's done in the class is reinforced in here in a fun and creative way.
I was just in here, Tiffany, recently about doing a tour and heard Miss Patty, who that is, Miss Patty there.
She's Wonder Woman.
She's Wonder Woman. And she was telling me about they're doing shadows in the classes and how she communicates with the classes so that she can be sort of reinforcing and extending the learning experience in here for whatever's going on in the classroom. It was pretty cool. And just a minute ago, we saw the holding up of the penguins.
We have a sensory bin over here that's changed out weekly. The kiddos love that space. That's one of their favorite.
Hi, Miss Patty. No, it's oh, and here's
In our 4-year-old class, I just saw that question. There can be up to 18 students, between 16 and 18 in our 4-year-olds. In Cubs, it's our smallest group. We have 12 students in that class. And then in kindergarten, we can have between 18 and 20. And again, all of those classrooms have 2 teachers in them.
magnificent place.
It is. Brings lots of excitement to our kiddos. I think they'd rather come here than the playground.
Miss Patty talks about it being a lot like the Museum of Discovery. Is that okay? Yeah, right. Oh, and here's the pen. I was wondering where the penguins were. That's where they're right in front of the noodle farm. So, and I don't know if you just kind of noticed how well the kids worked to clean up and to line up and then heading out to the classroom. I think it's just another example of just the work that we do with our children in a lot of different areas. And part of that is just being able to follow instructions. Okay, are we ready to move on? Yep. Bye, Miss Patty. Oh, here is a group of 3s. Hi, guys. How are y'all? Hi. Say hello. Oh, I love that. Oh.
So sit on a 5-year-old.
A group of 4-year-olds?
Well, a lot of them turned 4.
Yeah, I know. We were just in your classroom. You are 3. Good job. Hey, kiddo. Hey, oops, excuse me there. Again, here's one that's another grandchild. So, hey, how are you? I will try. I will see you. Oh, all right. Where did Miss Knight go? You never know what's going to happen. Oh, hey, Miss McClure. How are you?
Kindergarten teachers, and I've asked her to share just a little bit specifically about our language program.
Beautiful.
In kindergarten.
Beautiful.
So in kindergarten, we have a phonics program through Orton Gillingham, and that's where the kids learn different techniques to sound out words and to blend words. So it helps in decoding. So it helps in their reading skills. We also have small groups in the morning where we do rotations, and they go to different centers or go to Miss Monroe's table or come to my table. And at my table, we will do small group reading where we focus on whatever skills. It's more levelized. So each group gets what they need. So not all of them are getting the same thing, where we actually differentiate it to what each group needs or what each child needs. Mm-hmm. And then we also have, we do sight words, which also obviously helps in their reading as well. And we have different skills through the Orton Gillingham program that helps them be able to keep the words stored up here in their brain by more hands-on and more active ways of learning it, as opposed to just flashing flashcards. So we cover it all, but we're very what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, very intentional in the way that everything is taught and the way that everything is practiced.
And I would add to that too. I think that intentionality, not only it's in kindergarten, but we do it across the board. So
Yes.
starting in our 2.5-year-olds all the way up through 12th grade, we meet in vertical meetings so that we make sure we're aligned beautifully to meet the kids' needs as they go. For example, we start the Orton Gillingham in our 4-year-old program. They start sight words just to build that self-esteem and confidence before they get to kindergarten, where we really dive in deep to that reading. Our handwriting program begins in our 3-year-olds with handwriting without tears. Our math program is Math in Focus, a Singapore math program. It actually, in Singapore, they don't have math until kindergarten. And we in America have kind of Americanized a calendar to go along with it that we actually use in our 4-year-old and our 3-year-old program. Our 3-year-olds use the 4-year-old calendar and our 4-year-olds use the kindergarten. So when our teachers meet, they meet 3 times a week. They kind of talk through that and say, okay, are these kiddos ready for these skills? We may have to adapt some of it, or we may be able to do it all. But the joy is that we are able to do that for our kiddos. So that's a little bit about our academic programs. Of course, again, if you come on campus, we can give you more information, or if you want to email, I'm love to kind of talk education. So feel free to email me if you need to.
And what I love about the sort of the mixture, because we do talk a lot about academics, but there's so much about just the social and emotional development that you guys focus on and are intentional about as these kids are down here, right?
We absolutely do. We use what's called the Ruler program, and that was established at Yale, and several of us were able to go attend a training several years ago. But the students learn how to express their emotions, and they do it through colors. And actually, you think that's just an elementary thing, but we do it all the way up through 12th grade. With the teachers as well. And I even know some families that do this at home. So when the kiddos come in, they express how they're feeling that morning. It may be that they're red, and so they're a little mad. So they may move their stick or their face, whichever the classroom has, to that area. And then throughout the day, they may change that depending upon how their emotions are. But we really want to teach them to claim their emotions, which helps tame their emotions.
Mhm.
So there may be a calm down corner in each classroom, where if the student's upset about something, they can just go, take themselves to that corner, sit with a book, sit with a little sensory toy, and allow themselves to take some breaths and calm down. The other benefit of this is that they learn those emotion words, so they're able to express, I'm mad, or I'm fearful, or I'm sad. And so they're able to express it in the language that we all do, which helps us know more about our kiddos as well. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Greg. Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
I can't help, Miss McClure, but seeing all these words that are back here. I mean, they seem to be kind of big words for
On
kindergarten.
the chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can
So-
you talk to us a little
Yes.
bit about what you are doing here? Obviously, I think we're talking about the R,
Yes.
but
So with our Orton Gillingham, we do a different feature each week. So the feature is a letter, but with that letter, we teach the sound and everything that goes with it. So this week we're doing the sound R, which is the letter R. So we do an anchor chart the first few days of each week, and the kids have to come up with the words that have that sound in it or that feature in it. So the first day that we do it, I make them do it with the beginning sound. So like yesterday, they had to come up with words that began with R, and then today they got to come up with words that just had the R sound in it. And interestingly, you will see a lot of capitalized names, capitalized words on here, because we've had so many last names, first names, teacher names, all kinds of names that had that sound in it. So it was really fun because they all were like thinking, oh, does my name have it? Oh, wait, my second, they'll say my second name, not my last name. My second name has it or whatever.
second.
So yeah, so it was fun. So we do have some pretty big words up here.
They are pretty big words. That's right. Well, that's a great example of the work that y'all do. And again, just how intentional you guys are on just about every minute of the day, and including in our writing and our language arts and our math. So good job. Good job. Yep. Oh, yes. That
The students have been engaged in, and they were able to bring recycled boxes from home, and they're creating their community. And so again, lots of language building through this, lots of pride in creating their own spot in their
You'll have to
community.
show them the inside of the Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
We have a train stuck in there right now, but you will notice that they're even creating tables inside.
That is awesome.
It's pretty cute.
Oh, wow. That
And
is.
again, this goes along with their standards. with their community standards for social studies, but you know, we got to make it fun.
Oh, that's okay. They're not put down yet. They're still in the planning process. So nothing is set in stone yet.
That is awesome.
Ms. McClure, thank
Okay.
you for
You
your
are
time.
so
Thank you, Ms. McClure.
Bye.
Greg, here's the mood meter. That's what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
talking about with the different colors and the emotions. So that kind of helps give you a visual of that.
And my grandson he knows how to use this chart against me when I don't give him what he wants. And he has the tendency to say, I'm sad. I'm so very sad because you won't let me have sweets or something. So you have to stay up with these kids. I'm going to tell you.
These are directed drawings. Directed drawings is a really big part of Reggio. The first year that we integrated this, we had a teacher that put out a vase of red flowers. And it was so interesting because not one student drew a red flower. And it was a great lesson for all of us that they want to be creative and innovative on their own. And we want to allow that. So directed drawings are a great way to do that. These, of course, are Martin Luther King Jr., but they're awesome.
That is
Works
so
of art.
good. I love their own handwriting on there as well. It's so cool. Okay.
Do you want a glimpse of the playground? Do we have time?
Do we have time? Any questions or anything, Matt?
You guys are doing great. Yeah, we definitely have time to go to the playground.
Any questions before we go out and?
You're doing great. No questions.
Okay. All right.
This is our kindergarten group that's on the playground that we'll see real quickly. When they go out to the playground, the whole grade level grows out at a time. So it's a great time for socialization. So 4th grade at a time, kindergarten, we don't have a mixed grade levels, however.
I know I'll probably find a dead spot and it's going to be loud.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a there's a little bit of a slow spot here. We'll get that fixed when they get out to the playground. So there we go.
Are we good, Matt?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. It's a little jumpy, but
I do want to tell you that it is getting colder. If nobody's been outside yet. Yeah, there's Mr. Pulley. Oh, I got all the kids interested in technology, I'll tell you. All right.
Greg, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I've got a
Yes.
question. One
Okay,
question
awesome.
for Tiffany, as you guys are walking back in. Tiffany, the question is just kind of clarifying a little bit about the 2 teachers in the classroom. Are we talking 2 teachers, or is it a teacher and a paraprofessional? How would you describe or word
We
that?
have a lead teacher that is a licensed teacher and an assistant teacher in the classroom that's not necessarily licensed in teaching. Some of them may have different degrees. And the lead teacher does an emphasis of all of the educational aspect with the exception of handwriting. The assistant teacher does a lot of the handwriting, a lot of the journaling, has a table at their, at their discretion where they've got kiddos in a small group, and the leads also have a small group as well. If it's a morning meeting time, the lead teacher does that. The reading and so forth, the lead teacher does all that as well. So hopefully that brings some clarity. That's a great question.
And just to add to that, our assistants run right around 11 years of experience with 8 of it here at PA. So again, just another area where we just see a lot of consistency, commitment. One other just a little fun fact is right at about 70% of the faculty here campus wide either have or have had children here at Pulaski Academy. Tiffany has a son that has graduated that's in college now, and a soon-to-be senior.
Oh, stop
Right,
it.
right, okay. A junior, but a soon-to-be senior. I've had two children that have graduated from here. One of them is now bringing his children here, so those were my grandkids. Matt has a senior and a ninth grader, so he's crying too. And so you know, when you hear us talk, I would have to admit you're hearing us talk not only just as a member of the PA family, but as an employee, but also just as a parent too. And I just think it shows a lot of commitment to the hearts of the people that are here and wanting to work with children and just being the place that it is. So anything else, Matt?
Quickly, because I want to end talking a little bit about ways that families can come on campus and tour. If you've not toured the campus, we definitely want you to come and tour. And I don't know if everybody can see my screen here now, but we've got a campus tour website, pacampusvisits.com. You can actually go online and see when we've got tours available. You can sign up for a tour, pacampusvisits.com. If you don't see a date or a time that works, just email me, let me know. I'm going to be sending everybody an email this afternoon with some more information about the school, this link. We also have our apply2pa.com. You can submit your application there. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was an event we're going to have this Friday. Our PA coffee and chats, our virtual question and answer sessions. It's basically just a time for you to jump on with myself and Greg, and I might have a parent on, and we're just going to answer questions about the application, about uniforms, lunches, anything you have that's just a follow-up question and answer. That's our coffee and chat. So I'll send a link this afternoon where you can go and register for that. So again, we just want to encourage you and invite you to come and tour the campus if you've not done that already. If you're ready to apply, again, apply2pa.com is our website to submit your application. So Greg and Tiffany, great job. I don't have anything else. Any parting comments?
Come see us. We'd love it and be honored for you to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here today too. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be with us, and always good to be with you, Tiffany. Great job.
Thank you.
Y'all did
Thanks,
great.
Matt.
Yeah, thank you guys. And again, I'd love to have you come tour. We're going to step into a lot more classrooms and see a lot more when you come on campus. So please make sure you sign up to do that or give us a call. So everybody have a great morning, great afternoon. Thanks for being on.